say Willy Wonka. Instead, and as you might imagine, that's because of the copyright.
Let's see. I was about to bring that up. I was talking on some of the streams. Tell us some of this name. I'm about to say if they call Willy Charlie the Chocolate Factory, they're gonna probably trigger some trademarks.
To not only create the AI art, but also the script behind their whole dumb scheme.
Who saw that?
Some obviously AI-generated gibberish where Willy McDuff tells people that he's gonna guide them down this spectacular, downright magical garden of enchantment. And then I like this very ambitious audience applause. The Oompa Loompas are actually called Wonky Doodles, which I think should have given away how dumb this project was. Wonky Doodle is straight out of the AI garbage pile of possible names. They also have a supervillain called the Unknown. He's a evil chocolate maker within the walls, which already sounds stupid, and it's obvious they did absolutely zero revisions to this script idea. But then you find out that the ultimate climax of this whole story is that the Unknown's weakness is tidiness. Not sweet, not chocolate. The guy should be with an anti-graffiti gobstopper that cleans up his mess like we're trying to teach him some valuable lesson of vacuuming the room. It's so unbelievably stupid that you'd be surprised to find out that the way they executed it is even worse than it was written in the AI script. Because they really just put too much attention to like how they were gonna dress this guy up. Instead of having some grand reveal with this anti-graffiti gobstopper or whatever, that they tell a guy with a little cloak and a mask on just hide behind a mirror and let that work. Seems to do nothing except traumatize the kids who are unfortunate enough to be there. Well, our guy's weakness would be petty. Nonetheless, not to be appropriate for a Willy Wonka themed, like, nice time with the kids. That's their Make-A-Wish Willy Wonka right there. A guy who actually went public to say that he, like, regrets everything. He gets this absolute mess. The guy even says that he should have been an Oompa Loompa. I mean, I think he means Wonky Doodle. But, you know, we'll forgive him for that. But hearing him describe it, it's clear that maybe chocolate maker for a start? Does he make evil chocolate?
Ammo for the win!
No, he's allergic to tiny. That's actually the true solution. Sorry to spoil it for you guys.
Evil man who makes chocolate. I thought he needed this for walls.
Yeah, he actually lives behind the mirror. That's what he really does. We actually have this other view of the Willy Wonka experience, an extended cut, the Zack Snyder edition of this horror show. There, I think you can actually see them.
Yeah, those can come from the point.
Here you can also just see how empty this place is. I mean, the floors look like they haven't been washed in literally years. Funny enough, if any event ever needed the anti-graffiti gobstopper to clean up the whole mess, it's this one that was so absolutely disgusting. And this is probably one of the saddest parts. I mean, obviously, you're going to Willy's Chocolate Experience. The one thing you expect after paying $35, $40 as a parent is probably, you know, chocolate. But instead of giving that, they decide their bright idea was to give each child a single jelly bean and a quarter cup of lemonade. And if you think, like, that's gotta be a joke, you can't even measure out one jelly bean. Like, you're pouring it out, you're gonna end up with multiple. No, they had a test to make sure that no kid got more than one jelly bean. Look how sad of a scene this is. You can see that this Wonky Doodle is probably
The kid's like
disappointment just continues. The chocolate
a mixture of disappointment and like
it's
confusion.
way overcrowded, and the actual refreshments, I think some of which you had to buy, it looks like they didn't have enough of, like they're running out clearly. They went to Walmart right before this, and there you can see the sad cups of lemonade. And I mean, this was truly a breathtaking scam. As I said, really on par with the Fire Festival. I mean, this is basically sums up what the Willie's chocolate experience was. And obviously this set the internet on fire. People were curious. Everyone wanted to know, like, who can we make pay for this? I think they claim that they're going to offer refunds for this. We'll see if they actually pay out. I don't think the actors have been paid a dime yet, and I don't think they will be. So they're probably the biggest group scammed in all of this. But yeah, the internet did what the internet always does in a situation like this. They found the guy behind it. It's this guy, Billy Cool. He's the guy who runs the company behind it, House of Illuminati, LTD. Now, the most interesting thing about him is just that this is not a one-off. I mean, I guess that was probably obvious, but this guy uses ChatGPT for his entire life story. He claims on his Instagram to be an enigmatic wordsmith, but I think that was also produced by ChatGPT because you can see here is his Amazon writing profile, this enigmatic wordsmith. And all of it is basically AI garbage. You can see that, but it's all 0 stars, 1 star. All of the cover art is clearly AI, and then all the comments also say they're terrible books. Now, I'm not going to go too much further into what Reddit found. I mean, they found everything about this guy, his address, his everything, but ultimately, I don't think someone should be harassed over something like this. I mean, especially if they're coming to 3 months. It was totally a scam, and the parents have every right to be upset. But if you're just a random person on the internet looking at this, and you're mad, it's really not for you to go, harass this guy. That's not going to help anybody. That doesn't get anyone their money back. And honestly, the thing to do in a situation like this is just laugh at how silly these people attempt to bring AI-generated art into the real world. And honestly, I don't think it's the last time we're going to see it. So, yeah, that is the story of Willie McDoodle, the Wonky Doodles, and Willie McDuck, a truly goofy scam that sets a new standard for what a Fire Festival type event is. I think in the future when this stuff happens, we say you got Wonky Doodles. There is...
Uh-oh. Sorry.
Name more synonymous with fraud than Billy McFarland. The guy who stole luxurious music festival tickets and ended up serving people this. Now every time expectations don't meet reality, everyone talks about it like it's Fire Festival, and people are calling this the new Fire Festival moment, but for kids. It's Willie's chocolate experience. It was sold to parents as a wonderful little event to bring your kids to in Glasgow, Scotland. You got an enchanted garden, an imagination lab, the Twilight Tunnel, and even captivating entertainment. Now you may notice that all of these pictures are AI generated.
According to a study published by CBS News, most Americans believe in some kind of psychic phenomenon, and 16% say that they themselves have experienced some kind of psychic ability. Why? I've never believed in telekinesis or any kind of psychic ability, really, but lately I've been getting so many TikToks on my For You page about how it's actually really easy to just start moving objects with your mind. Like this one, how to do telekinesis. Just start out by rubbing your hands together. This helps you to feel the energy. It also helps you to create an evil little scheme. Then start practicing on some socks, move on to some heavier objects, and as long as you keep your hands looking like all of your fingers are broken, you'll be slamming doors in no time. There's also this one where apparently all you have to do is imagine your hands are magnets, and you can rotate a piece of paper on a pin. And sure, these TikToks are pretty easy to fake.
That draft is like, here, let me help you out.
Scientific explanation for what's going on. But here's where I'm confused. Here's the rub, so to speak. The no-handed psychic rub. Some people are commenting on these TikToks that they have found these tutorials genuinely useful. It moved, and I got really scared, saying, bro, it works, help. And it is kind of hilarious that it seems to be working, but also has the unintended side effect of making you terrified about it. That's something a lot of people don't think about, is that if you found out you had, like, superpowers, it would be, like, it would genuinely freak you out. I'm imagining one of these people who commented this going on to become, like, an insanely powerful wizard, but the whole time they're like, oh, what is going on? Oh, this is so scary. I wish I could stop doing this shit. Anyway, I was so weirded out by this. I was looking on YouTube for longer, more in-depth tutorials on how to do telekinesis. Like this one called Real Telekinesis and Telekinesis Training. Because like TikTok you can't really trust. You kind of expect people to be trolling on there. But on these videos, there are even more positive comments. You're right, it works. It does? Thank you so much for the video. It really helped. It did? How?
Yeah, no, hear that? Yeah, it's probably botted.
I get it. I'm psychic now. I am typing this comment with my mind, and I just blew up a baby bird in my backyard. The more I look into it, the more confused I get. I don't believe in telekinesis, but there seems to be a pretty sizable group of people that think that it's real, and they can do it. And are doing it. So basically with this video, I want to find out what the hell is going on. There's a lot of telekinesis content out there on TikTok and YouTube and other websites. Is any of it real? And if so, can I do it? Because if I can, honestly, I'm gonna be pissed off. I would be so confused. That wouldn't make any sense. I would be the most confused and pissed off warlock the world has ever seen. Okay, so I think if we're gonna figure this out, the first thing we have to do is start with the basics. So we've got those first two TikToks that seem pretty easy and straightforward. Then there's this girl on YouTube, Guide of Limitless Truth, who has a bunch of telekinesis tutorials. So I'm just gonna check out her channel and see what she suggests. There is no right or wrong way of doing telekinesis. All techniques I use them intuitively. I just do what feels right at the moment. Before you start Before you start practicing telekinesis or any other form of manipulation, ask yourself first, why do you want to do it? I guess for one, I want to see if it works. And two, I don't know, it'd be kind of cool. I feel like it's something that's special. You know, if I'm like the only one of my friends that can do this, it might be a little bit of an ego boost. I do not support the idea of doing it for an ego boost. No! Okay, fine, I'll pick a different reason. I guess I'm sort of just digging around. I'm just sort of goofing around a little bit. Is that a good reason? Telekinesis is not a superpower or anything supernatural. Well, I kind of feel like it is. Anyone can do it. That's good. And it does not make you better or more special. Oh my god.
Anybody counting?
What's the disclaimer do we have to read? Holy cow. If you practice or you plan on practicing it, do it for the right reason. Don't use telekinesis as a tool to fill your insecurities or as a way to think that you are better or more special than other people around you. Holy shit, dude. I like that all of this introductory stuff is about not using telekinesis to fill your insecurities. I do kind of feel like that's not a good sign for how good at telekinesis you can become. If there were people out there that were like really good at telekinesis, this disclaimer would probably be something more like, do not use telekinesis to blow up school buses. You guys have to stop getting revenge with telekinesis, okay? I know it's fun to make your principal do unlimited backflips, but that does not mean you should. In another video, she explains that the reason we can do things with our mind is because everything is connected.
Either way, they're all connected with everything around us. Even temperature, like, God, everything affects us.
We're not individuals, but rather we are all part of something bigger. We're all part of this
simulation,
so
calling it.
So it only makes sense that we can influence
I'm on a freaking roll!
So let's connect the universe. So I'm going to test these in a particular order. I'm going to test the one that I think is least likely to work first, and then work my way up to the most plausible one. So let's start with this one. How to do telekinesis. Start by rubbing your hands together to feel the energy. Okay, she's like rubbing it, and then, oh, okay, she's kind of rubbing like this to see if you can feel the energy. Alright, let's go. This is making my hands kind of tingly to do this. Like this. Maybe that's the energy. I'm making each hand tingle with the other. Soon I'll be making my socks tingle. Get a light object like socks and try to think of the item as a part of your body that can move. It's actually a lot easier if you keep your sock on your foot. That way it still is a part of your body. Then it's really easy. Boing, boing. Okay. Here's my sock. Think of the object as part of your body.
Right?
Look at your busted ass face.
Go! You know how you shout at your body? Go! Okay, and then she lists a bunch of other steps like moving on to heavier objects like stone, and then finally she shuts the door. Don't really think I can move on to those until I move this sock, so let's give this another go. I don't know why it's this motion, like you're opening a doorknob. Shouldn't it be like, go, got it. Okay, the sock's going back on my foot.
How to practice telekinesis or moving matter with your mind. All you need is a small piece of paper like a post-it note, the eraser, and a needle.
Okay, so I went out and I got a needle. Actually got a whole bunch. And I'm gonna stick it into this piece of foam. Oh, foam everywhere. What the hell? Look at all this foam, dude. Perfect. Okay, now I just plop this on here. Hey, needle's not long enough. Oh no! What do I do? How long was her freaking needle, dude? Oh yeah, she's got a really long needle. Well, she didn't say that. She didn't say make sure you pick the longest needle you've ever seen. Okay, good thing I bought multiple needles. Maybe I can pay for it together to make a super. Like I did that really poorly. Not necessarily gonna be the sturdiest thing or the prettiest thing. But hey, I'm doing literal telekinesis thing. Well, there's always gonna be some airflow. Look, hey, that thing moved. There's always gonna be some air. Did that move with my breath? I think it moved because I laughed. Oh. There we go. Now I see why the airflow is so important. Focus on a corner. Moving. I feel like it moves every time I cough. I manifest paper move, go, paper go. Stare at it for a while. Become one with the object. The object, we're about to become one. Okay, I think we're pretty much one. Okay, imagine your hands are magnets, and then she just goes. Let's give it a shot. I'm going to imagine my hands are magnets. Whoa! Yo, dude, I'm fucking psychic. My theory here is that my hands are heating up the air next to it, and heat, you know, changes like the air current, because cold air rushes to hot air. So it's like why tornadoes form, right? I think I almost
Yeah, kind of how tornadoes form.
I gotta be careful. To test my theory that it's just heat, I'm gonna do the same thing again. Imagining my hands are magnets, making the shit move, but this time I'm gonna be wearing gloves. These gloves are nice winter gloves that keep my hands nice and toasty in the winter, so heat should be not transferring through the gloves, okay? And I'm gonna hold my breath too. I can't hold my breath for that long. Well, it didn't move at all. I mean, like... So, it kind of seems like it might have been the heat from my hand. Also, having my hands in gloves and going like this with them makes me feel like I'm murdering someone. Okay, lastly, I'm going to be following that girl's YouTube video where she was moving coil with her. I chose to do this one last because I'm most confident it's going to work because it's 100% just air. I am 100% confident that it is... Yeah, 100% just air. It is kind of fun, though. It actually does make you feel kind of sick, dude. Honestly. Okay, well, I guess that's that. It's just air. Crazy. Okay, so that obviously did not work. I guess in a way I probably should have known. This video I watched with this girl can only move a piece of oil is from 2 years ago. And as of 5 months ago, she can now move 2 pieces of oil.
Can't stop the body drop.
So even if there is something supernatural there, something that's more than meets the eye, it's probably going to take a little longer than the 20 minutes I had allotted to figure it out. I am coming away from trying those feeling Like, I don't think that this girl is purposely trying to misinform people. I don't think she knows it's all fake. I think someone probably convinced her that this is telekinesis, and that if you just keep practicing, you're gonna get better at it. Anyways, I was gonna give up on this entirely until I found this series called Superhuman on a streaming service for insane people called Gaia. Gaia hosts a bunch of conspiracy content, shows about alternative hell, ghosts, aliens, that are made to look like your average educational documentary that you would find in like the
Yes, New World Order. New World
They
Order.
explore the limits of the human mind. They talk to researchers who are well versed.
I've seen videos of New World Order and it's just so cringy. Like, literally one of the things I heard on an Instagram reel was like, the government is enacting gender equality, and that way the New World Order can, like, you know, assimilate, like, something like that, like, I'm like, okay, let's step back here, okay? Like, I want you to take your phone, I want you to record yourself, and then I want you to play that recording out loud. That's what you sound like when you talk. Are you sure that you are in your element right now? Are you on coke? Like, I want to be very clear and concise. I don't want any oopsies to happen. I just want to know if you're on methamphetamine, because it appears that way. Yeah, you get my point.
It's short for psychokinesis. It is the ability to move a physical object without physical contact.
I don't know why they rebranded getting more people on board. No, guys, I don't believe in telekinesis, okay? I believe in wacky kinesis. To show up how psycho her kinesis can be, the host of this show, Caroline, takes her friend Rachel to meet with the psychokinesis practitioner, Sean.
It is a meditation process in itself. That way, you're too tense, it stops moving. When you relax, it starts moving again. If you don't give it enough time, it doesn't work. If you let go, it works.
So I'm immediately getting the same vibe that I got from that YouTuber, where it feels like he wants it to be real so bad that he's just like making up reasons why sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
If you're too tense, it stops moving. When you relax, it starts moving again.
Yeah, sometimes I have trouble getting the foil to move, but that's just because I care too much. It freaks the foil out. He does his little presentation and the foil won't move. He's like, no, the foil hates me! I know, the foil fucking hates me!
Your mind just started responding too, so I think we're sharing a field that
Oh my god, he and Rachel are sharing a field? It's the most romantic thing I've ever heard, dude. There's something going on between Sean and Rachel. Caroline's over there by herself with her thing, like, yeah guys, I think I'm in the field too. Mine's moving. Sean's like, no, you're not. You're in your own field, alright? Me and Rachel are... Oh, fake animals. I just feel like if this dude Sean has been at it for years, and the best he can do is move foil sometimes, but he can't even figure out like why it moves, then even if psychokinesis is real, it's just not good. How about that? Yeah, here's a new take actually. Psychokinesis is real, it just sucks. Okay, but here's where things get even crazier. Here's where the real shit starts. And here's where Caroline found him to the UK to meet an exceptional group of young children.
First step in UK, where we encounter children
Bling, bling, bling.
blindfolds to access their superhuman abilities.
What do you mean you just...
What the hell?
You just find these kids?
And now, tell me what's on this card.
Tall.
Isabella, what is the shape and color of this stone?
Kind of like a circle, and it's not really, it's kind of like see-through.
That's right. There's a school in England where children are learning to see while blindfolded. They can make it...
This is some Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children type shit, if you get where I'm going. You know, where they teach all the kids that, like, how to use their powers and stuff. Not a bad movie.
They can make out
There's
shapes while
Hyperion
blindfolded.
Kingdom.
They can read with the blindfold on. They can even dodge tones with a blindfold on. And it's not just in the UK.
Nah, what they're doing is what I know what they're doing. They have a blindfold, but they have it like up, so like if you look down with your eyes like this, if you look down like that, you can just barely see out of the blindfold. Or let's go. I don't know. On side note, I love it when the class would tell me everybody to cover their eyes to do a vote, and I do this. I'd go, hold on. right there. I could see everything through this one little crack in my eye. Here's how you do it. You hold your hands very close to your face. You just give a little crack, right? And you can see a lot. But when they look at you, it won't look like, you know, you're seeing anything. Itchy nose.
Utah that teaches kids how to do all sorts of things blindfolded. But in this school, the instructor is wearing a karate uniform for some reason. Are they also fighting the kids blindfolded? That seems kind of fucked up. The instructor's never even blindfolded. Seems unfair.
Blue, twin. 8 of clubs, 10 of diamonds, 5 of hearts.
All this seems insane to me. I mean, it definitely gives you pause. You're kind of like, wait, is this real? Because it's like, sure, they might be able to like memorize the book and then just recite it from memory. That's how they're doing that. But then, like, how are they like hopping through obstacle courses? How are they navigating stores with the blindfold on?
How about the grilled chicken and sausage combo?
Finally, I can use my mind's eye to locate the chicken gumbo. But then you kind of start to notice that there's something very similar going on in each one of these lessons. Something very subtle. A tiny little baby head tip that almost makes it seem like maybe seeing through the bottom of the blood.
Yup, exactly what I just called.
I need to come closer. Okay, I'll come closer for you. What does it look like? I'll come closer. It is now.
So why would she need to come closer if he's just like perceiving
Exactly.
So I'm like 90% sure this is
Multi-kill,
going on.
yeah!
In fact, I'm 95. In fact, I'm 100. So I don't know if the kids have just been sworn to secrecy, like they know it's all fake, and the woman who runs the school is just like making sure they keep the secret to the point where even the parents think it's real, or if she somehow convinced the kids that they really do have this superpower, and that what they're seeing
That is sad.
the blindfold,
Being taught you have a superpower, then like you're like, hey buddy, it doesn't exist.
Insane manipulation going on here, some crazy lie, which makes what happens next in the Gaia show even more fucked up.
My longtime friend Kim, who at the age of 33 discovered she suffered from a rare genetic macular disease. While her condition is medically impossible to cure, Kim is willing to defy the odds and potentially try to
who is going blind and convince her that she's gonna be able to see without her vision.
That is so evil.
Guys, they are wasting this poor sweet woman's time and getting her hopes up for no reason, dude. This is so mean. And the tests they have her do to regain her vision are so dumb. It's working. She's doing everything in her power to try to get that blue light to reflect into the goggles. Why would she need to put it all around her head to use telekinesis? In the next clip, she's like sliding the paper into the blindfold. I think it's blue. But hey guys, the results speak for themselves. Look how far she comes in just a few short sessions.
Excellent. Looks like
Get over here, heretic!
Dude, huh? She's not even holding up the paper until she guesses it.
excellent.
This is so mean. It just feels like a mean prank, dude. Leave this woman alone. So I've noticed from a lot of these different clips in these different schools, the blindfold that they're using always says mindfold on it. So I looked it up, and the mindfold is just kind of like a sleep or relaxation mask that you can buy on Amazon for $14. So I did, and now I'm gonna figure out what the heck is going on. Behold. The mindfold, the most powerful blindfold in the world. Truth be told, the mindfold does seem like a pretty legitimate blindfold. Yeah, okay. So, I can't see shit. In terms of how much light it lets in anyway. In terms of what it advertises being able to do, it is a little bit out there. Sleep, meditation, travel, training, sports, mind power, and whatever you materials for training. I got my favorite childhood book, Corduroy. I'm gonna try to read this while blindfolded. I did accidentally buy perforated construction paper that has those shapes perforated into it. And I can tell you that with my eyes. Maybe it's a circle. Maybe it's two circles? How would I do that? The first test I'm going to do is just try to see if I hold it on my head and see what color it is. I try to focus on being omnipresent. For some reason, my brain wants to say yellow, so let me take a look here. Okay. Jesus, dude. It's a bright light pointed at my eyes right here. Put this light here, man. Right off the bat, I noticed that I do not have any sort of natural psychic ability. But
No crap.
Is that all of the kids in the Gaia show seem to wear their blindfolds?
Chaos.
Their eyes are at the very bottom of it. So I decided to give that a shot, and that made things way easier. I can see very clearly. It's not just like a rim of light anymore. It's like I can fully see any type of paper you can hand me now. I can see like that's orange, that's freaking purple, that's freaking green. If this is what you can see normally, then this is basically what I could see with the blindfold on like this. And even when staring directly into the camera lens, you still can't even see my eyes. So now I guess with my eyes concealed, hopefully. Let me see if I can read a little bit out of Corduroy. Let's see, can Danny read? The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator. He's got my name.
See, look, he's doing what I just said. This is called, literally, tilt your head up and look on the, out of the bottom of the blindfold.
Get good or get dead, scrub.
Up to here. So I can navigate an obstacle course, lickety split. It seems like this is idiots! You're out of your league, baby cake! Legitimately. Can I train my brain?
Hell yeah!
Luckily, Sean from earlier has actually written an entire book about the process of seeing without your eyes. It's called Mindsight. And I got it, and I read it, and I spent a week training. His recommendations were also been out there. Sean recommends doing this practice while exposing as much skin as possible. Take your shirt off. Taking your shirt off is ideal to be comfortable doing it. And he also kept reiterating but look, I know what you want, okay? You don't want me to just read the entire book. You want to see every single thing. You want to buy tickets. Does this work?
No.
I read the whole freaking book by the face of this movement, so I think it's only appropriate to do one final section. You can see all the progress I've accumulated so far, and then see without.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that.
How about the grilled chicken and purple? The guy who literally wrote the book on how to see without your eyes can't see without his eyes. But hey, if you want to get behind the wheel of a car and drive, you don't have to know.
Open up a finely aged cask of whoop ass.
Eyes. That's awesome. So look, in the video, maybe I can learn how to see with my eyes closed. But I did come away from this
I'm on a freaking roll!
Now, there's about to be a package in my Hello, I'm you. From the future. Okay. Since I read that book, I have continued to train my mind. I have now physical touch and sight, but time itself. Why are you crawling? You have to act like a baby for it to work. You know, for a second I thought this whole package at the door thing was going to be hella pressure. It is. If you think being able to move objects with your mind would make your life easier, Wait until you hear about today's sponsor, HelloFresh. HelloFresh takes the hassle out of meal time by delivering pre-portioned ingredients and
Making millions off stealing content. 2 million? Oh boy. I feel like, what's it called? I feel like he has a pretty good amount of health, it's just he has a lot of damage resistance. Stealing content?
Time for a scrap.
It's always 10,000, like anything divisible by $5,000 per month.
Now to the layperson, this might just sound like, oh, he's a TikToker, he makes little clips and he puts them on TikTok. Since I know that this TikTok is about stealing content, I have a feeling that this dude is not posting his own content on TikTok and is somehow making $20,000.
First thing I do when I get into my office is write out my daily goals. Today I want to get 1 million views in a day. I make at least $500.
Those are crazy goals. I want to get 1 million views in a day
Oh.
and make at least $500. They're
Yeah, that's
crazy,
sickle,
not just
ironically.
because they're like lofty goals. I'm sure there's enough content out there that he can steal to meet those goals. That doesn't seem like that hard, I guess. It's just kind of wild to me that that's how this person thinks about their social media business. Like when I'm sitting down to do work for the day, since I am also an influencer, the first thing I write down isn't like how many views I'm trying to get that day or how much money I want to make that day. If anything, it seems like you should be at least focusing on how many videos you're going to make that day or like what kind of creative decisions you're making that day. It almost seems like you're reverse engineering what a content creator actually does. It's like content creators make money from doing content creation, so that must be the first thing they think about when they are making a video. It must be really interesting to like watch any art with this person. Like you go to a concert and you're really enjoying the music, it's just like your favorite artist and this dude is next to you, he's like, man, this is crazy. You must have written down he wanted to make a lot of money today. And then he just sort of made all of this happen to facilitate that goal.
I go and stay at my desk, pull my phone out, and get ready.
I sit down at my desk and
I'm on a freaking roll! Hiding space rock.
Dude.
At least you get to know them a little bit in terms of what games they like or how good they are these days. But no, just stealing that from YouTube. Those are also just reservation tutorial on how to edit 2 videos together. Putting one video at the top of the screen and one at the bottom. Super valuable stuff. I can see why you get pinned to big.
One of my
Funny when you phrased it. One of my videos well the way I would phrase it is
Check out that body count!
I guess everybody has their own interpretation of these sorts of things. It looks like readers added some content they thought people might want to know. Referring to this video as intellectual property theft. It is illegal under the Intellectual Property Organization Treaty. This treaty applies to Twitter/X through Digital Millennium Copyright Act and TikTok through patent law. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you pretty much put him to task. I think that's everything I would have said as well. Why does this guy have an office? He says the first thing he does is he goes to the office.
first thing I do when I get into my office.
Like, this is like a gigantic studio.
Oh, amazing.
This treaty applies. Readers added some context they thought people might want to know. Portrayed in this video as intellectual property theft. It is illegal under World Intellectual Property Organization Treaty. This treaty applies to Twitter/X through Digital Millennium Copyright Act and TikTok through patent law of the People's Republic of China. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you pretty much took him to task. I think that's everything I would have said as well. Why did this guy have an office? He's says the first thing he does is he
That's
goes
just what
to
I
the
do.
office.
First thing I do when I get into my office.
Like, this is like a gigantic studio. He's got a desk. It looks like there's multiple people working. Everything you did in this video, you could have done without leaving your bed. That's the crazy part. And you're spending like thousands of dollars in rent on this studio. Okay, so it looks like he was getting a lot of flack.
Hopefully it's just sufficient on me and
another
Finn.
tweet in response and said, if any YouTubers would like to debate the topic of ethical clipping, DM me. I genuinely believe it is a win.
If you're gonna take or use someone else's content, at least like put your own gameplay or your voiceover. Do something.
Under the impression that nobody's really like making a ton of money posting like
Don't repost an entire piece of content unless you're trying to preserve it.
I don't know, maybe this guy is doing that to me as we speak, I have no idea. He could be in the office right now cooking something up. So doing it as like a fan or as a hobby is like seems totally fine to me. It's just when you start making money, and especially when you start bragging about how much money you're making, does it seem like a super shady thing to do? Algorithm specialist, oh yeah, he works with a lot of promos. Algorithm specialist is a crazy title for someone who creates zero original content. He's like, yeah, I sort of know what works on TikTok. It's all the same stuff that
It changes the entire loophole.
So this one looks to be another TikTok about stealing
TikTok, if you're broke, and by broke I mean you have a lot of time but not a lot of cash.
That's a funny definition of broke. You have a lot of time. I'm just picturing like a single dad getting home from his second shift of the day. He's just barely scraping by, barely paying that mortgage. He clicks on this video for some quick tips on how to make some extra cash. He's like, I'm broke. And this video's like, no, you're not. You do not have enough free time. Sorry. Find a different guru, dude. This is not for you, Ru.
Start watching TikTok and you're going to find the most viral videos or videos with a lot of views. And you're going to change it a little bit. You're going to make it better.
Make it better? What does that mean?
Change it a little bit. You're going to make it better.
It's better because it was changed a little bit. And by changing a little bit, I mean I took it from that TikTok profile and I put it on mine.
And you're going to change it a little
Logic.
bit.
It sounds like he cut something out of that. Like he was going to explain how to make it better, and then while he was editing, he was like, they know all that already. They have a lot of free time. They'll be able to figure that out.
You're going to re-upload it to your account.
Oh, to my account. So that's how I make money.
You're always going to want to tag the original creator though.
Someone says, what if I don't tag the original creator? This person is debating being a piece of shit.
I'm right back. I need to go get my dinner.